what's up, guys, and welcome to the third episode of the RandomCast podcast. And still with me today is Ivana and Marvin. Say what's up. Alright, so for today's episode, it might be a little bit more serious than the previous two. We're talking about social media and, how it sort of affects us in our lives right now. What form of social media did you guys start with?
I started out with Friendster.
See,
okay, right. I think most of us here started out with Friendster, right?
I think most of us in the Philippines?
Maybe Friendster was pretty popular.
He said MySpace.
Or Asia.
MySpace
was more popular
in the US.
In the US.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just to jump into the bandwagon, I did Friendster and MySpace. But most of my connections were in Friendster.
I did Friendster and Yahoo Messenger.
I also had MSN.
Wait, that's considered chat, but yeah, I think everyone
people also socialized in it, so I'm gonna consider it. I'm gonna count it. Yeah.
Okay, Yahoo Messenger as well.
Yeah.
If you're in the US, and probably that would be AOL.
Yeah, I've never
MSN Messenger.
I had MSN, Hotmail. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I had relatives from Canada. So
and Skype.
I didn't have Skype.
I tried Skype, but I never really had anyone to Skype with.
Right.
So yeah, I also started with Friendster. I had MySpace, but I was not active.
What year was your Friendster? When did you start? When?
I think I was in my 4th grade.
What year is
that? That was...
Wait, I was trying to recall. When was I in 4th?
Okay, I started Friendster in 2004.
I can't remember the year, but I know I started Friendster when I was in first year high school because I didn't have internet really.
I'm still getting what year is my 4th grade.
I still remember my profile. It was the year that Ghost Rider the movie came out, and I was a kid. I really loved that movie, so it became my profile background. And I had all Smash Mouth All Star as a video there.
Oh, it got into me 2006.
2006.
Okay, all right.
5 or 6. Sorry.
Okay.
Alright, at that point I was already on Friendster, MySpace, and Multiply. If you all still remember that.
I've never heard of Multiply. What's Multiply?
It's like a blogging.
Multiply is like the predecessor of blogs right now. But there you could really have your blog posts. But it was really one of the early forms of a blog, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, you have your blog posts, and then you can post your media there. In fact, you can also post files there. So, it was a very effective tool back in high school to share files.
To cheat.
Not necessarily. You can, but you don't want to. But example that the teacher has something, and then, like a document, document or spreadsheet, then, Multiply was the way to go back then.
Google Docs back then.
Yeah, not private.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, nowadays people just airdrop.
Yeah, but then Multiply also allowed you to have friends.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like a mashup of Facebook and a blog.
Yeah.
And, then I joined Facebook in 2009, which was kind of a funny thing because from 2008 to 2009, people were starting to migrate from Friendster to Facebook.
Yeah.
Because that's when Facebook was
It was in.
So it was me and 2 of my other friends. We were one of the last few people to port over. We were we even had this crazy idea. You know what? Let's do a massive login on Facebook and crash their servers, which didn't really happen. But yeah.
When I started Facebook, I didn't really know what to do with it. I think it was. I think I was mainly in there for the purposes of chatting because it was easier. I don't think Friendster did Friendster have a chatting system. No,
it was just inbox.
It was just inbox.
Yeah.
Right?
Inbox.
Yeah. Hey, there's this fun thing you could do at Friendster way back then. You could change the background and add music and then
mine was Ghost Rider.
You can add when my cousin back then, and she was like, "Oh my god, can you help me search a background for my?"
We all learned programming.
What is it all about? It's emo princess. I'm like, what the fuck?
Emo princess?
No, emo was way back.
Emo was in back then.
Yeah, it was the face of
I never understood. I've
never done the, slide, slash, but, the music, the clothing.
Okay,
yes.
I love the music. I never understood the clothing, though it looked cool. I just wore a black shirt, to be honest. That was the extent of my emo. I didn't do the whole hair combed over one eye, or the leather bracelet, or the multiple bracelets.
Yeah. Or even the slashing thyself.
No, that was too much.
That's not. Oh yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
But you're not a Friendster user if you haven't customized your profile to that
point.
point.
We have done that. I have done doing IT shit for some reason.
You learned programming because of Friendster.
Yes!
CSS to be exact.
CSS, not
HTML.
HTML.
Very basic HTML.
Yes.
Hey, but at least we were like, ooh, I look like a pro doing this.
Oh, okay. When Facebook started, I think it was when people had more visibility with regards to statuses, right? Like people could post what's on their mind. In fact, when you open at Facebook, it's like a old aunt you never see after except in reunions. Like, oh, what's on your mind? What are you up to? Write something. So people would post statuses. So what was the kind of statuses you found kind of weird, cringy, or...
I think way back then, like, this is the funny part, like, when you're in, there's this, like, likes on Facebook, and way back then, if everyone like, oh, thank you for the like, and then type thank you for the like.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like, you guys are gonna like my photo, and like, thank you for the like, Marvin, thank you for the like, Archie. It's gonna be something like that. It's like you're campaigning, it's like you're running for mayor or something.
It's kind of like the Facebook equivalent of testimonials in Friendster.
Oh, yeah! Friendster had testimonials!
I only know
Friendster
the comment side.
Because Friendster testimonials were kind of like your source of validation. Now it's likes.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Like, social media, I get. I usually just use social media now as a form of quicker communication rather than texting and calling.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, depending on your mobile plan, it's usually free for Messenger. That's really what I use Facebook for now. But for validation, I don't get it, you know? I don't get the point. I mean, it feels good, okay? It feels good. It reduces endorphins in your brain, but...
Wow, so scientific.
It is, that's true.
Big word.
Yeah.
That's 3 syllables. Endorphins. 3 syllables, guys. Endorphins.
They can go happy hormones.
I mean, I just don't understand the logic of
understand.
posting your photo of your head on the internet and then just stand by for validation. Just to get those little thumbs up, hearts, and smiley faces.
Come on.
We're not
Way
meant
back.
to trigger some of our viewers, or listeners.
Sounds
by the way.
familiar, but no.
Look, okay, I may be guilty of that at times, and it's true that people who are but the exception of models, okay, are people who are striving to be models, because that's like a portfolio. Influencers. Because in this modern day, if you don't have social media presence, you don't basically exist in terms of the international market, I guess, if that's understandable. But if it's just being vain, that's a whole different story, right?
I think that's why we have Instagram.
Yeah.
I prefer Instagram, actually, because in Facebook there's a lot of long posts that are just either...
It's just
rants or really awkward. It's really awkward. Like that...
You can just block them for some reason.
Yeah, like this one post I have from 2012. One big fight, let's go, Ateneo! Thank you, Facebook siblings!
Oh my god, that is... Okay, that's ultimate. Come back.
Yep.
Oh my god.
8 years ago, gigotom ko.
I'm
hungry.
Those were the posts before when you had Facebook. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna head over to my place.
It's
like,
basically
yeah,
your
it's
online diary.
Yeah, it's just like status on on your whereabouts. Like, oh my god, it was such a fun day. Like, thank you for coming with me, and then just tag the people.
Oh my god, I'm gonna.
And then besides that, like, you can use Facebook for like games. And hey, you could not remember. Have you tried like Farmville or
Wild
Society?
Ones? Wild Ones.
Friends for sale.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like
those were the things we do on Facebook before.
I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite. I never posted pictures, which is for validation, but I did post a lot of weird statuses, which I thought people would like. So I guess in a way that was my phase of like doing vain shit, but wasn't really that vain, really. It was just more of trying to sound kind of profound, even though it wasn't really all that profound.
I think we made like Facebook as a like way back in high school. I made it as like photo album. Like you just
Especially our parents, I think most of the older generation would use it as more of like an online photo album.
Yeah.
Or an avenue for stalking.
Oh, there's that too.
Oh, come on.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. We can't deny that people stalk on social media.
Of course.
Yeah, if you want to know more of your crush, then just Facebook.
Just keep it at a good level, okay? Don't be creepy. Don't do...
I'd be like, oh my god, going throwback like 2 years or more, scrolling down, and then like, oops, I pressed like. That's awkward.
It's like when you're going through a minefield and you step on a landmine.
And it bumps in his, on his, what do you call this? Notifications.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I'm an Ateneo de Manila Eagles fan, so that's why.
Go
Ateneo, one big fight.
There are also times where I think sometimes schools take what's posted on social media too seriously. Like
what?
Well, I'm sure the international audience won't understand it, so I'm gonna explain the story. The situation that happened with Saint Therese. Yeah, that. I think we can talk about it. It was in the news, so it was just a situation where two students just posted a photo of themselves in bikinis.
I think they also had cigarettes.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't have cigarettes. They didn't have
I thought
cigarettes.
they were like drinks with them.
No. It was just okay. Let's say they had drinks with them. Okay, these are high school students.
High school.
And I don't think at that point they were fourth year, so they were of legal age.
No.
Oh wait, no?
No, 16.
16. Oh, come on.
No, we were 17 when we
16.
were.
Fourth year. When you get out of fourth year, you're 16.
Okay, either or.
Senior high, guys.
I'm pretty.
It's like second year, you get the degrees
Okay.
and stuff.
Let's say we have that. Their profiles doesn't say. Okay, setting aside their poor choices of having drunk at that minor age, their profile doesn't say that they're affiliated with the school. And even if it did, the school's reaction was just too over the top because that's the person's personal online account. So what they did to these students was that they barred them from graduation. And even after a court case, which told the school that the students should not be barred from graduation, they were still not allowed to walk in graduation. The students arrived in their togas, and the guard would not let them through.
Oh, I remember that issue. That was like
2012. That's just too much. I mean,
yeah.
That's just too much. I mean, I know that the school is kind of like looking out for its name and that the students have to act accordingly. But doing that to your own student also sends a very wrong message, in my opinion.
It is kind of like a public relations mess.
Yes, because not only did they do that to the students, they also violated a court order. So that's kind of like how social media is affecting the world nowadays, right? Like,
well, that was in 2012, but let's fast forward to 2016 with the recent elections, and now, I would say that social media pretty much has brought out a lot of the worst in us.
Yeah.
Or to a certain degree. There are so many items online that are not even fact checked. Politicians can use social media, or in fact, anyone uses social media as a tool for
propaganda, basically.
Basically and publicity.
Publicity, yeah.
Yeah,
publicity.
Even like fake news
and
rolling around.
Yeah, that's dangerous. I mean,
what's worse is when you have trolls or when you have people who are so zealous of their beliefs that they start stomping on the rights of other people. And you see that, I think everyone in almost any country here, you see that when someone posts something that's against their views, you'll have bashers.
Yeah. Now, I get that everyone's entitled to their own opinion, right? You have a right to that. But please, I would like everyone to keep in mind that you have the right to exercise your rights as long as they do not encroach on the rights of other people.
Just be responsible.
And respectful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with disagreeing with one another. I mean, you can disagree and still have a mature conversation.
Yes.
But there's no need to make comments like, "Oh, you're just..."
Ad hominem comments.
Yeah, like threatening comments, or especially there are those that are like we can see commonly, like, "Oh my God, you're such a dumbass," and that's not good, but that's not all that bad. Compared to some comments like, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot. If I could find you, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker." That sort of thing, That's just, ugh.
Yep, that's what social media has evolved to, actually.
Yeah, it's chill, bro.
And people now are more confident to express
you
those
know
views.
what's the sad thing about that? You can just bash and not be accountable for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst part of having
it's
it.
the lack of accountability, I guess.
I mean, you can just bash and have another names and then and just throw whatever shit you want to that person without being, okay, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
You can just clean hands with it.
Yeah. And to go back to what Marvin said about, I think what was you, Ivana, who said it, about fake news.
Yeah.
It's like a double-edged sword. The technology nowadays makes it so that information moves faster, so everyone gets news just like that.
Yeah.
But if it's real, great. If it's not,
well, they want the exaggerated version.
Okay, there's one thing to exaggerate, another thing to completely change. Like there was that, like I mentioned, there was this one news article that said, "Oh, bloody massacre," and then what actually happened was they were attacked, yes, but no one died.
Where's the massacre?
There's no massacre that's happening. There's one that's not exaggerating. That's just falsifying at that point.
Exactly.
Clickbait.
And I think you might have come across a video wherein they say like how AI and machine learning is being used now to actually change or copy someone's face, and they can start manipulating the speeches and all that stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's something
Yes.
like that actually.
Yes.
There's actually many things that are progressing, especially nowadays as we're moving forward to the future. Our technology is developing much faster than, in the old days.
Then
when...
the school system.
Oh yeah, than the school system. But information technology and AI technology in general are going to go by leaps and bounds in the coming years, I believe.
Mhm.
And it's going to cut out some of the some jobs that are currently available. So in the future, some jobs will be available, some might be changed, and some might be completely replaced by machine
Well,
and
it's gonna
computer.
be like, ever changing. It's not gonna be just, manual labor or SARS.
But then again, what is the
Someone has
future of social media at this point? Is it still in the growth phase, or is it starting to slow down? Because according to some of my friends who know people in the US, that Facebook is starting to lose its popularity within our age group, but
Yeah,
Instagram is
it's
still hot.
growing.
Because Instagram, I feel like... Actually, I do prefer Instagram over Facebook. Because in Facebook, you see a lot of things...
You
but
don't need to
there's
see.
There's not... Yeah, you don't need to see.
Okay.
In Instagram, you only see the people you want to see. And it's only content. There's no long-ass rant unless you look at the description, But it's not like in your face like Facebook.
Mhm.
And it's more controlled, I guess.
I agree with Mars because I was with my cousin. We had a reunion, and he told me like Facebook is already bad in Canada, so like they would just do Instagram for some reason. And because we had this like relatives who are older aunties, like they don't want their relatives to see what they are on Facebook, so they'd rather move in Instagram.
Oh, that
Yeah,
that does explain why that I'm already seeing ads for Facebook on YouTube. Have you guys gotten those?
Oh, haven't.
Yeah, I have. Like in the past week, there are already like ads on Facebook, so that might mean that Facebook is trying to gain more people or get people back
But
into
it's still
the social
popular
media.
here in the Philippines.
It's still popular.
It's convenient for some.
It's convenient, but you can't deny that Instagram is
Catching up.
Yeah.
But don't feel too bad for Facebook because they own Instagram anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you guys notice, also YouTube, it's starting to be like a Facebook in a way, because there's
The comment and the
channels
likes.
are already like posting status updates.
Yeah, they're posting status updates. And by the way, guys, please remember to like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Just a shameless plug there. Depending on where you're listening, you can listen to these here on the YouTube video if you're watching it now, or you could be watching it on Podbean or some channels that are distributed by Anchor. So, but yeah, I think we can both agree, all of us can agree that social media has its good and its bad. Now, the question is, does the good outweigh the bad?
I would say it's gonna be. I mean, for communicating reasons, that would be fine. But just for a rant, to be honest, like at my work, it was good on your point that you had like a social media for your work. It's different in our end because like even the bosses around, you're gonna form a group message and they will bombard you with things and like we have to do this target. Like, come on! It's like I want to be out of the work. I want to do things out of the work, like my life or schooling for some reason, and they would like ping and like what's going on in the work and like, oh come on, it's like it's starting to intervene your personal life, and that's something I do not really
Yeah,
like.
you need to achieve a good work-life balance.
As much as possible, I want to deactivate the group chats with just for a rant, to be honest. So yeah, I mean we're supposed to be work, but when I'm outside work, please let it have like our own personal life for some reason.
Yeah, I think it depends on the industry.
But I think every industry now has to have some sort of online presence,
Of course.
Yeah, but I mean, it's different. For online presence, yes, that's fine. But like what I mean is like we had our own personal lives, and then outside of work, they still keep on bombarding messages. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, but you can check those later. But yeah, I could get it's kind of annoying always hearing the ping,
It's
ping,
annoying.
ping,
It's
ping.
annoying.
Yeah. Why would I say it depends on the industry or type of work that you're in? It's because, well, I'm actually taking my master's right now, and one of my topics is about customer value, and then the emphasis is about the now economy. So everyone wants everything now. Everything has to be instantaneous. So maybe perhaps that's the reason why Ivana's superiors or workmates are wanting information done now, because in order to serve the client better in more real time. In my case, I work in the travel industry, and then we have to be on top of our clients all the time. So there's constant coordination between our superiors, suppliers, and the client. So sometimes, maybe depending on the industry, the social media platform can be helpful. But if you're in an industry wherein you can really have a distinct line between work and life, then maybe it can encroach.
Yeah, but there are times where social media is already used as a form of business. I mean, people are selling things online
Yes.
already.
Yeah,
The marketplace on Facebook.
Like through Facebook, yeah. And there are also times when you work at home, but your employer is from another country.
Remote.
Right, you're working remote. So that's your only way of communicating between the two of them, and, to make sure that you're doing your job and he's actually going to
for
accommodate
some
you.
reason it would work.
In a nutshell, I think to answer your question would be, I think the benefits outweigh the
negatives.
negatives.
Yeah.
The pros outweigh the cons.
But the cons are also bad. We can't deny.
Yes,
But
we
there
can't
will
deny.
always be the cons.
Yes.
There will always be the cons.
Yes.
But it's up to us as the people using the social media to be responsible to minimize the cons as much as we can.
Yes.
With that said, I think that should wrap up social media as a topic. Write in the comments below what you think social media is. Is it good? Is it bad? What are some good and what are some bad things about it? And your favorite kind of social media. And speaking of which, you can find Ivana and Marvin at their respective social media links in the description below. This has been RandomCast, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.